My name's John. Welcome to a short video showing the setup and use of this Artec water cooler. I've got an Artec 260 AC/DC TIG welding set here. I've got a WP18 torch and I've got a water cooler. I'm going to show how they all go together to make a very nice package for welding high amperage. The cooler has three connections. That's a power connection. That plugs into the back of the welder. The Artec welder is equipped with a socket to take that. That's a 250 volt input. There's two pipe connectors, push fit PCL connectors. A red one and a blue one. The blue one is cold water out, that goes up your torch. The red one is hot water from your torch back in. So it comes out cooled, goes up your torch, gets warmed up by the welding process, back in the red one, and it gets cooled as a fan in a cooler and a pump inside the machine. This is the rear of the welding set. You can see there's a socket there. It's got right on. AC 250 volt. That simply plugs into there, and that's the power supply to your water cooler. This is the torch Artec have supplied. It's a WP18 torch. It's good for 350 amps. It's the same physical size as a WP26. It also uses the same consumables. It has a switch on for 2T and 4T welding. It has a really flexible leather covered first couple of foot of the cable. You can tie a knot in it, which is for a torch that will do 350 amps. That's really good. Right, so we've got a nice lightweight torch that will stand high amperage. This machine puts out 260 amps, so this torch will take anything it can give. The connections on the torch are the same as for an air-cooled torch, except you have two extra connections for the water. So we've got our main DIN socket, that's for our negative. We've got a control lead, that's for our switch, 2T, 4T welding. We've got our organ line, standard PCL type fitting for the organ line. We're also supplied with two sets of pipes, a colour coded pipes, a long set and a short set, just depending on where you've got the cooler situated to the welder. They could be on a stand where they're both the same. You could use a cooler on a different welder, so you have longer leads on, longer pipes on. What I'll do, I'll go through the hookup procedure using the short leads because the cooler is right next to the welder. We'll do the simple one first. Simple one's the negative. Simply pushes in, half turn, locks into place. Then we'll do the gas. Pushes in. That one's the control for our on-off switch, or 2T, 4T switch. I won't use that because I'll be using the foot pedal. That leaves me with our two water connections. One of them's got right on, water, blue, so the water, that's an outlet from the cooler, goes into that one. These were short connections. Water, blue, cold water up to the torch, and that one there is hot or warm water returning from the torch. Knit them up. If you get a leak with the water, you'll be able to see it. Right. We'll check it again. Water, blue. Just simply push in, lock into place, PCL type connectors. Means when you come to disconnect it, the only water you're going to lose is the water in the pipes. Right, the water that goes into the cooler. It recommends you use antifreeze. I work in a motor trade and I know antifreeze, you can get various grades of antifreeze. Use the best stuff you can buy. Glycol based antifreeze. It's not so much to stop it freezing up, it won't freeze up in here, it's to stop any corrosion. I would use the same ratio of antifreeze we're using cars, which is 50-50. There's a sight glass on the front of the tank so you can see the water level. Right, that's our water level filled up to there. Right, we'll turn the unit on, start the pump off. There's a return pipe on the top of here, you can look in and you can see the water circulating. I'll get the camera in and get a closer shot of that. Right, you can see the water slushing about. That's our return pipe. So now the water is getting circulated around the torch. Just to recap, we've got cold water coming out from the cooler, out to the torch, warm water from the torch going back into the cooler. Simple as that. Electrical connections are just the same, power and gas. So now we've got a torch here capable of standing anything at all this well that can put out for as long as you want to do it. I have got some heavy aluminium to weld. I've got a block of aluminium that somebody's put a milling cutter through. The milling cutter was put through in the wrong place. I'll use this set up to weld it. A friend of mine is busy making some custom engine mountings for a racing car he's working on. He's got this chunk of aluminium here and he's milled a slot in the wrong place. It's quite a big piece of aluminium and I think it was quite expensive. He's had to buy it and he's asked me if I can weld that back up again. It'll certainly be a good test for the water-cooled Tig Torch. The material's nice and clean. All I'll do, I'll preheat it before I weld it. I'll simply put it on a gas ring just to take some of the chill out of it. It makes a big difference getting some initial heat into it. I've got 260 amps to play with. I would think I'll probably need all of that to get it going, and once it starts to weld I should be able to back it down to around 180, 200. We'll give it a go and see what happens. Just preheat it a little bit, it all helps. Right, to set the welder up for welding that big lump of aluminium, I want normal setup, advanced square wave. I'm using the pedal, TIG pulse turned off. Gas pre-flow 0.3 of a second. Start lamps are important. I'm using a 3.2mm tungsten, so you need between 50 and 60 amps to get a nice clean start. 54 will do. Upslope, I'm using a pedal so we don't use that. Main welding amps. We'll set that at 260 as high as it'll go. Like I say, I'm using a pedal so I can back off once it starts to weld. AC balance set that at 30%. AC frequency probably 100 and leave it at 150. Downslope we don't want. End amps 5s as low as it'll go. Your post flow, that's important. That's gas that comes out once you stop welding. It's important, it cools the tungsten, shields the weld. If you don't have enough post gas flow, your tungsten will get dirty. I've literally just finished welding and the torch is still relatively cool. And that's been running at 200 amps for the last 20 minutes non-stop. I put 15 rods into that one weld. That shows how much weld I put in. I think the groove was 10mm deep and 25mm wide. There was a lot of welding rods went into it. This is the latest version of the WP18 Water-Cooled Tig Torch. The torch head's exactly the same. Still takes the WP26 consumables. What they've changed, the plug-in that goes onto the welder, instead of using adapters screwed on like that, everything comes ready assembled, ready to plug on. They've extended the length of the leads so you don't need to put adapters on. I'll bring the camera in closer and show you how it hooks up to the welder and the cooler. Nice and easy to connect. That's your negative, that's your power up to your TIG torch. Simply goes in, half a turn and locks in. Connected to that one is your water back from your torch, your warm water return. It's got right on, water out. That goes onto the inlet on the cooler. It's actually red and red. Next you have your gas line, simply plugs in, gas supply. Then you've got your water up from your torch, that's your cold water up to the torch. That goes into the blue output one. Once again they're colour coded red and blue. You've got a connector there for your 2T and 4T switch on your torch. But I use a pedal so we're doing connect that one. All they've done is tidy up and simplify things. Quite a nice neat setup. This is the torch I prefer to use all the time. It's a WP9 torch with a gas lens on, an air cooled torch. It's nice and flexible. The only drawback is you're limited to 150 amps DC and 120 amps on AC. After that you need to go to a bigger air cooled torch. What you can also use, I actually have one here, is a WP20 torch. It's the same size torch as a WP9 but it's water cooled. It's good for 250 amps on DC. The thing with it is you could run 150 amps DC or AC water cooled and the torch will remain cool. So you've got your advantage of a cool torch but a small, nice flexible torch. And that really is a flexible torch. It's nice and light. It also has modified connections on the end so you haven't got to use any adapters. Once again, power plugs into there, red return from the torch, warm water, gas connection, blue line, water up to your torch, cold water up to your torch. That torch for me is ideal. It'll do basically anything I want to do except for the real high amperage aluminium stuff. I think that torch will be living on this welder from now on. It also has the switch as well for your 2T and 4T welding. It feels nice, it's nice to hold. It does use the WP9 consumables.